Okay, just making a quick video. Don't know if the phone still works, so I don't know, it's packed up pretty much. But it's a bit about car life, living in a car, because I've seen a video, and it's the person has lived in a car for nearly 9 years, right? On and off for 9 years. And if you're watching car life videos, you'll know who it is. Right? Good points made though, because I lived in a car for nearly 2 years, full time, and worked at the same time. Worked as an agency driver, and in a way it's good because when you're actually driving, you get out, you live in the car. You get there. I had access to, obviously when I'm driving, I have a shower in the morning, get to wherever the agency used to send me, get in a truck, 7.5 ton truck, and then just drive it. But I had access to like somebody else's. If I'm driving 2 hours down the road, 3 hours down the road, I'm actually in someone else's vehicle, and the heater's on, isn't it? Yeah, and I'm charging the phone, on, or sat nav or whatever, yeah, Google Maps, which is my phone, isn't it? So the problems that people living in a car or living in a van have, the charging problems. If you live in a van or live in a car, and you find an agency that will accept you to actually work on that basis as a driver, it removes a lot of the problems that people living in cars have. Because if you're working in a factory, not everyone can charge their phones while they work. A certain job you can't. But in a truck, you can just put your phone and a cigarette in a 12 volt in-car charger, and just charge your phone, can't you? Or charge your iPad or whatever, or charge whatever. Yeah. You're just driving to a destination to deliver the products on the vehicle that the agency have sent of the company that the agency have sent you to. So you're getting paid an hourly rate, and you're charging your phone, aren't you? Win-win, right? So, but then it's just the problems that people face, and it's right. When I slept in my car, the front seat. I'm 6 foot tall. And if you sleep in the front seat, you don't need a big car to live in your car. You just need enough leg room, and be able to extend your legs, just in case you don't get cramp or whatever, without actually getting out of your car, because you may be in the middle. You may be, they say like a stealth or whatever, yeah. But like, if you're living car life stealth or van life stealth, you need van. See, a lot of people living in cars do not want to own a van. They do not want a van, because a van, you'd have to probably insulate the van. You'd have to the things you do. I guess there are some real nice looking van tours, and they're expensive, and they've spent a few quid on it, like on fitting out the van to live in van life. But having lived in a car and driven a van for many years, commercially, for a living, I don't think I would have a van. I wouldn't have a van. I'd go back to living in a car. If that was something I was going to do, cars are better than vans. I'd have a car, like a luxury. You can get them now. But it's 2021, so you get like an 08 plate, 09 plate, about 13. The vehicles have been about 13 years, something like that. And back then, cars that were made 13, 15, 16 years, 20 years ago, have air conditioning. You rent a room, you haven't got air conditioning. So in the heat, you can't. It's what they say in the States. It's alright. They prefer to be in a colder area because they can warm up. But when it has been in the States this year, it's been like 100, yeah. They can't cool down. Then they've got to have air conditioning. They've got to power the air conditioning. They've got to have lots and lots of solar panels. It's expensive to cool down. It's not that expensive to warm up. You just put a couple of extra layers on, don't you? But problems, and again, there's some good points made. You have to sleeping in a car. sleeping in the front seat is the most. It's not the most comfortable, but it's the best. It's the most practical for living in a car. Because you may have to be moved on. You may be in a parking area where they don't want. You may have missed a sign that says that you don't park here, and you probably get knock on the window saying that you can't park here. You've got to move. That's fine. So you've got to be in a situation where you can move on. So you're not drinking or whatever. So you can move the car. And not say, oh yeah, well, I'll be there in half an hour. I need to get out of my bed first and get. You need to be able to move when you need to be able to move. If you have to move when you're living in a car or van. Just the practicality of it. Again, you don't need a fridge. People say, oh, I must get this new fridge and got a fridge freezer. In the UK, you're about 5 miles away from a supermarket or a service station, fuel station, whatever, or a fast food retailer or a gym or whatever it is how you live your life. And it's easy to use the restroom facilities, but just make sure you. I'm not saying make sure, but I always used to make sure that I bought something from the shop if I used the restroom, whatever. I did. But I used to buy paper anyway, so to see what's going on. Well, back in snail world, prehistoric papers. But it's easier if you like going to the gym and you've got a gym membership. You can get access to the showers in a gym, can't you? So that's quite a problem for van life. They've got a toilet. If you regulate your eating, if you eat a big meal in the daytime, lunchtime, not evening meal, then you can recycle it before you go to bed, can't you? Which means you won't come across the problem of being stuck in the middle of nowhere, needing to go for a right. That sorts that out because you regulate your eating. You don't eat too much in one go. Just little. Eat small amounts of food. Not a big, huge meal. And if you don't drink, someone said that if you don't eat or drink after 6 o'clock, something like that, it's easier. I've watched a van life video. I can't remember who it was now, but just simple stuff like that. Just working around and this tip I watched in the recent video. Now for me, sitting in the car is alright. Sleeping in the car is always alright. Not a problem. Just put your coat in where the door panel is. Not a problem. So, but they reckon that if you sit on a pillow, for those that have bad back or whatever, if you sleep in the car, if you sit on a pillow, it will make the seat comfier for you to sleep and fall asleep. If you live in a car, and then you don't need a van. I've driven the vans for donkey's years, right? For the big long everything, long Crafter, the long Sprinter, the big long high Iveco, whatever. I've driven the Ford Transit. I've driven the Vauxhall Vivaro, the Vauxhall Movano, the big thing, Renault, all of them, right? Because when you do parcels, you've got to walk a parcel. To fill a van of parcels, you've got to walk up a 4-metre van, back to the loading bay, back up the 4-metre van, back to the loading bay. Or you do all that all day long, all morning when you're loading your van. Then if you have to unload it, you're doing it again. Delivering it, and you're loading it again up when you do collections. But you've got to heat that space up if you live in a 5-metre Sprinter. It's 5 metres. If you take the bulkhead out, you've got 5 metres internal space, and you've got to heat that space up. If you live in a car and you sleep in the front seat of a car, if you live in a car, have like the taxi, that plastic sheet, like this, which means you've only got to heat up half a car, which means your fuel cost will be less. And if you can afford to live in a Prius, your fuel running costs will be less. Your fuel, because it's battery in it, and the car charges the battery. It's just making it simple, which means your accommodation. Your transport is your house, which means you've saved the accommodation cost, haven't you? All good fun. Adios.